ever in doubt over links' authenticity, use an online link checker and simply switch on threat protection.
I mean, I'll be honest.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I knew something looked weird, but I had no idea what it was. We just guessed.
All right.
You've got mail. NordVPN sent you an email. Take a look.
I feel like this is a trap. I shouldn't look.
Well, I think
the only way through.
Yeah, it's the only way to advance is to read the email. Okay.
All right. Does this email look off? Read the email carefully, evaluate each part, select which parts seem suspicious, and which parts are actually fine. A limited time offer for a NordVPN partnership.
You skipped.
No, I didn't.
No.
I started.
You skipped in the reading. Reading an email does not start with reading the message. It starts with reading the person that sent it and the title.
I think it starts with the part that Mark highlighted and asks, this part looks suspicious.
Limited time offer for NordVPN partnership.
Yes, in our inbox.
So I do get emails like this. Relatively, yeah, from like streamers.
Less frequent.
I mean, no, probably about the same. You stream like quite a lot. And so, does it look suspicious?
So it looks suspicious to me in the sense that someone wants me to do something that I don't want to do.
Yes,
and I wouldn't read it because of that. But it doesn't look suspicious in the sense that I'm going to lose my PC by clicking.
By looking at the top bit, I can agree with you. I will say, whenever something's like limited time offer, get this soon, I'm always a little bit more...
Me too. They're selling too hard. Yeah, right. They're trying to create that fear of losing out. I do see an issue down here.
Yeah, that was the issue I initially noticed.
But this part, I think, looks relatively benign, although annoying.
Agreed. Yeah. So we'll go with legit.
You're wrong! The brand name is misspelled. I guess there's not supposed to be a space.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Alright, fair enough.
And they would know how to spell their own name. However, there was a big thing with like league teams. Like, there's a team called Cloud9, but there's C9 technically when you write it out, but everyone calls them Cloud9. So if I got an email from a marketing person being like, hey, we've got a deal for you from Cloud9, I wouldn't see that as suspicious.
I wouldn't have seen that as suspicious. But I guess that's the point of the quiz. They're saying, you aren't good at telling what's suspicious. Use NordVPN's service to make sure you remain secure regardless.
I agree with that.
And they've made that point pretty well.
No, they have so far.
However, this part, I think we got the bad. This is super sus.
The N0.
The N0 instead of the NO. This is probably not their actual email domain.
Yeah.
Suspicious. That is a strange domain ending replacing elusive.
I would never have fallen for that before, like a 1 with an I or an I with an L. Never have got that.
Hello, my name is Claire. I'm writing to on behalf of NordVPN to make a notice of your
what people like this often do is they'll find a letter that was or an email that was sent to someone and they'll just copy it. Yeah. So I think this looks legit.
I think it looks legit as well. This would not raise any red flags.
Yeah.
Claire got her name right. You noticed that.
Job, Claire, yeah.
All gets it wrong once.
That's not why I get this one a lot of times. Okay, moving on.
Moving on. Our mission at NordVPN is to promote security online. I'm writing to you today because I'd like to offer a partnership with you. Making a 30-second promotion of our products, features, and
okay. So, I could see someone writing this to me.
Yeah. I've seen something very similar.
Yeah. I don't think it's that suspicious. The only thing I think is slightly suspicious is they're asking for a 30-second promo, and they're not specifying a short. I think if they were like, could you make a short for us of 30 seconds on your YouTube channel, then I'd be like, fine. But I'm still going to say legit.
I think this looks relatively legitimate. This wouldn't raise any concerns.
Most of the time, the initial email is, hey, we'd like to do a partner with you. What sort of stuff would you like to make? Or could you make something for us on your YouTube channel?
Or let us know what you would require.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah. I think it looks relatively legitimate.
Agreed.
A little strangely worded, but looks okay. That was right on the money, sir.
Yeah.
All right. The next part, however, is super sus.
What do you mean? mez.ga.ru/search ? Q equals scam plus email plus NordVPN.
This feels like a little bit of a gimme.
I think we should ask chat.
All right, we could in fact do that. We could put up a poll.
Can we do a chat poll?
With chat.
Okay.
That says
suspicious, legit.
Yeah.
Or no, sausage or okage.
Suska or okage.
It's suska.
I say suska. This poll is named
Sussy Baka? Question mark? Suska or okage.
Yep, there it is.
We had a thing in the LEC for a while where we would try to find as many words that ended with AGE or G, and we just like it would make us burst out laughing. So it would be like adage, and we'd be like,
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Carriage.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. But eventually, it was like, how many could you find that other people hadn't found before?
Right.
Yeah. It was very funny.
It is good. Yeah. It's a fun game. I like word games like that.
Okay, chat are idiots.
Our chat. I was going to ask before you started telling your AG story is, are we bound by chat trolling us as they inevitably will with their answer, or can we give the right answer regardless?
Sam always says this is a dictatorship.
That is correct.
Sam is not here today.
I am.
Okay, it's a dictatorship.
And to me, this
Are you going to be a dick to these taters?
Yes.
Okay, so chat is... Wait, we have to wait for the chat. How long was the poll?
I don't care what they say. I'm not saying this looks legit.
Okay.
It is sus as hell.
I think it's sus as hell as well.
This link doesn't seem to lead to an official... That's an understatement. Correct. That does not look like
what they
anything.
could have done to be a little more tricky, hyperlink a word, and then often people won't check the link to the hyperlink.
Are you, sir, a big fan of clicking on downloads in accessible links?
I mean, also the test version of the NordVPN app. I'm like, why do I need the test version? Just give me the normal version. Show me where I can download it from your website. Yeah, I don't tend to install things that say NordVPN _app_install.zip.
We're definitely not a virus.com. This is pretty sus. I wouldn't put that. And any touch file from an unknown source is suspicious. Never open touch files. Excellent advice coming from you.
So we did a lot better on this one.
Oh, there's another one. Oh. This is also sus for the same reason as before.
I'm gonna say it's sus because the image on the right seems compacted. It seems like cut off a little bit, like it's distorted compared to what I would expect the NordVPN image to be. Yeah.
It also has zero.
I mean, yeah, 100%, but we already noticed that earlier.
They said, look what Clara did. Your eye is immaculate.
I do have an 84-inch monitor in front of me. It's a bit easier to see.
Why did she stretch it in such a weird way? I hadn't noticed it, and I wasn't going to.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the bottom right corner, you can see it's a little wider.
That's true. You got 6 out of 7 right. Even though you didn't get every detail right, you recognized it as big. Wow.
Good job, chap.
Well done, chap. So it was mostly a pretty sus. Question number 3. What is the most common type of stolen data on the dark web? Rank these items from least to most popular by dragging and dropping. 5 options to rank. ID documents, streaming platform accounts, personal identity profiles, payment card data, and driver's licenses.
Okay. Do you want to rank?
You want me to do like a rough one and then you correct, or do you want to just do it together?
We can just do it together.
Okay.
What would you put as number 1?
I would put as number 1 most likely identity profile.
That's what I was thinking as well. I was thinking big data banks that have like the he likes ketchup,
phone
he doesn't like
numbers,
mayonnaise, phone numbers. Yeah.
When looking for flight information, email address are given, stuff like that.
Yeah. I would then probably go payment card dates. I agree,
because you put that online all the time and it can be insecure.
See, I think streaming platform accounts is a bait. I actually think that's 5.
I do too. I don't know that anyone cares about my 10 viewers.
And then,
other than me, of course, I love you all.
True. I think that's Netflix. I think that's like a Netflix, Disney, like.
You don't think they're talking about Twitch streamers?
No, I don't think they're talking about Twitch streamers. I'm afraid. I think it's like your sister has borrowed your platform, your Netflix account, or whatever. I'm not sure on these. I don't know how much Americans load their driver licenses on the internet.
Okay, so the interesting thing here is that to me, these would be the same.
Yeah, driving license is an ID document.
It is an ID
document. I agree.
And if you exclude photo ID from ID documents, it would be what? Social security card, birth certificate, passport.
But passport is a photo ID.
True enough, but it's not a driver's license. So it's a form of ID document that's not a driver's license.
I'd probably go driver's license, but I don't really know.
That one's a rough one. I think I would too. I've used a picture of my driver's license significantly more frequently than other ID documents on the internet. Cool. Alright, send it.
All wrong. Well, we got driver's licenses right.
Alright, let's see the correct score. Most common is the money, which makes sense.
It does make sense. And I think the important thing is, although we got 1 out of 5 right, it's 2 translocations. It's not our number 1 was in number 5.
We were just slightly off. Our top 2 were the top 2, our bottom 2 were the bottom 2.
We just need to do it.
Next question is
Samantha.
play the record. Select which actions you should take. There are more
Okay, we'll see if we get audio on this. Otherwise, I'll be Samantha.
Okay, so if you don't get audio from this, then production can of course just play it from there. So I will listen to it and voice act it for you.
Okay.
All right. I will simultaneously translate from English to English. How's that? I can't hear you.
I can hear.
Okay, it's okay. So Mitch is gonna do it for us. For some reason, I thought I could use my computer.
I did wonder for a second. You could change it to the monitor speakers if it has speakers. Often they do. Oh, we get the back.
You think I'm gonna mess with the sound settings in production of this?
Yeah, I mean that
entire area?
That would be fun. Okay.
Samantha, I'm calling from your internet service provider. There seems to be some suspicious activity happening in your account and payments. I can access your account and fix the strange charges on your bill, but first I need to get your consent. To do that, I need to confirm if I'm talking to the right person. What's your full name, social security number, and the answer to your security question?
Okay. So correct answers. Flirt with Samantha.
Yep.
Check the account's activity yourself, probably.
Yep.
Give Samantha a fake name just to mess with her.
Yeah.
And then there's not one that says ask Samantha out on a date. So
Yeah. So I personally don't think it's that much fun to mess with the guy.
yeah, true.
Or to flirt with him.
Yeah.
Or to ask him to do it.
I mean, but that could be fun.
It could be. I'm a big fan of hang up and burn your phone.
I mean, but that's more of like I want to be off social media sort of situation, Bob.
I think the correct answers are refuse to give Samantha this much information about her phone. Yep. You should never give her social media. That's a very, very bad idea. Except, ironically, the IRS, if you call them, will ask you for your social security number and force you to give it.
Okay, well,
So that's a problem. But anyway, moving on.
problem. I'm too
The IRS
European
is
to
a
understand.
whole other issue. Yeah, yeah. You owe taxes. How much? We can't tell you. But we do know how much. And if you don't pay the right amount, you're in trouble. But we can't tell you. Anyway, a whole other
Also,
thing.
tax companies, give us money, please.
Yeah, yeah. I think we should contact the internet service provider to verify whether or not this is true. It could be the case that we have some kind of problem. I also think we should refuse to give Samantha this much
I think check your
We
account
could
to yourself
also
is fine, right?
check
like,
our own
yeah.
account.
I think those seem like safe answers.
I might not actually do this because it's too much work. I might just
Yes, but
check.
the thing with questions like this is it's always asking you in an ideal situation what would you do?
And I, being lazy, would not do this. But if I were answering a test about it, I would pretend that I would in order to get the test question.
I, being who I am, would just not pick up the phone initially.
That's fair.
Yeah. Unless you're in the phone book, you're not getting answered. And there's like 2 names in my phone book.
Okay, fair enough. Let's submit. We got it all right. No flirting with Samantha.
Sorry, chat.
Wow.
No flirtage this time.
Perfect. We got 4 to
Nice.
4 every answer right. Real internet service provider would never ask for this much personal information on the phone. Samantha is a talking red flag. If her name even is Samantha. Bye. You got a score.
I
How
think
do you
we're going to
think it
get
is?
screwed by the ordering one.
I think that they're going to be ranking us as compared to animals. And therefore there is no answer.
We're an unbothered capybara.
I would enjoy being reincarnated as a placid, unbothered capybara. There are no alligators.
I think as a capybara, you have a natural instinct to be able to swim.
Alright, so we are an unbothered capybara. We scored 61%. Happy in your lane. You know about cybersecurity as much as you need to take care of yourself. Not a problem. You're relaxed because you know that whatever comes your way, this is your revenge.
That was a lot more inspiring than I expected the end of that to be. I feel rejuvenated, I feel restored, but it is very important, obviously, to take care of your security.
It gets people coming after your information get more and more sophisticated, more and more out of reach for things like the 39 boomers like myself, and Ruby
You can, and you can always use the code ECHO at checkout to get a bunch of discounts with them. I was told by Mitch that the order queue would say exactly what I need to say at this moment, and it doesn't, because I think it's broken right now. So, if I remember correctly,
yes, it
up
is,
to
it's
4
code
months
Echo.
off, depending on what deal you pick with NordVPN, up to a 40% discount. 15% off purchase on Saley, and Mitch, you could have told me the next one while I was saying that, because then I could have just said the next one. Incogni as well is, I could say,
Code.
That's the code word. Thank you. So, Mitch, again, saying just a random word in my ear does not help me do the segment. With the code Echo Safe, you get a 60% off with your deal with Incogni. So a lot of cool things. We will get the auto queue working again, and we'll make sure to give you those exact codes. But Echo and Echo Safe are the codes you are looking for. It's a great deals over at the NordVPN website.
Absolutely.
Do not go to N0RDVPN. That's the website you want to. We learned that. Yeah, learned that, chap. Here we are, the one on the screen. So the NordVPN code Echo up to 4 months free, depending on your plan. Incogni, playing Echo Safe, you get 60% off a yearly plan. And with Saley, which is the eSIM software, which is incredible. And the roaming SIM software, you can use Echo for 50% off your purchase.
Absolutely true. In the meantime, I am looking at our best post-dinner poll, which is poll number 85, getting into that second intermission, and just barely getting into the second intermission with one person alive. It did have a couple of personal errors, right? We lost several people due to betrayal. In fact, 6 dying to betrayal. You can see here the list of deaths. So, betrayal causing problem here. We had some melees, which is interesting unless they are in fact from the scarab beetles that were running around. I want to check that real quick. That's damage taken. Melee.
Okay, where was I?
Scattershell scarabs. So how hard were they hitting? Very hard. Yeah, going up to the 2 million and almost 3 million damage mark on those when they've been left alive too long. You can also, if you are interested in such things, go to enemy resources and specify enemies that you like in order to find out how long they were living.
Number 8 was the one that did him.
True. You can actually simply drill down and choose that one if you like. Number 8. So I mean, he did die relatively quickly. That's why I was like,
Maybe it wasn't number 8 then. I'm pretty sure it was number 8.
and drill down like this and see on average how long each of them live. You can see the ones that were issued in the very first phase died very, very quickly. Later ones after it is dead, lingering for a long time. And it may be possible for us to take a look at their deaths and see how many stats they acquire, like Cable, Scarab Lords, Perseverance. That's a bad thing. When they reach 100 energy, they get a buff that makes them run very, very, very fast, become immune to CC, and they just chase you down and bite you to death. So that was number 10 and 11. Can you see who's getting right? I mean, we're drilling down pretty far here. This is the kind of thing I like to do. Maybe the chat's not interested. The point is, it was a really, really good pull. We got deep into and successfully through phase 2. We got into that second mission with this one person alive, but because of deaths primarily to that betrayal, which is where 2 people of the wrong colors touch each other, we were unable to deal with the ads, and they just chased people down and killed them.
Well, we are jumping into another pool now, so let's see if they are able to avoid the betrayal of their teammates. Betrayed by the ones who they loved most. It's a very difficult situation to be in, and we'll see if Echo can avoid it. And they are still sitting at the best pool so far. Liquid have got another pool down to about 63% with 70 pools in total. As they overtake Method for second place on the leaderboard. But for now, things looking okay. We're into that Shadow Existence, no combat res used, no bloodlust used. Just need to dodge around the damage and make sure that they can be in an okay spot. I can see Mitch crawling along here trying to get to the auto key. Do you want me to just walk in there? No, so it shows, it says we have a reminder to do Nord stuff. There's a little text box in the middle of the screen, and I don't know what that little text box is. It looks like an error message of some sort as we are getting through the Shatter Existence right now. Entropic Barrage coming up again. You might achieve in a couple of seconds. Well, because when you moved it, it was really loud.
Chat likes it. It's ASMR.
Do you like it, chat? I'm going to get up chat. Let's see what chat says. You can talk about the pool.
Absolutely.
Dead.
We are in the... Okay, we're coming out of the intermission. We are in phase 2. The spider is empowered. We have 1 dead player on the ground with no combat res available for another 3 minutes. We are pre-positioning for that first grip and making sure that we don't hit each other with betrayal, which is actually what happened. That's what I was talking about. The grip caused the betrayal deaths, but this time successfully navigating that with no deaths from betrayal and then soaking the orbs caused by the grip. You see the dot going up which ticks for about 10 seconds, and you can only take 2 stacks. If you get another one, you become deceased. We have a second death on Revis, but this pull looking pretty good, as we have successfully gotten all 5 dispels on the spider, and she is taking double damage for 10 more seconds. The way you can tell that most easily is Gingy is using a big debuff tracker over her nameplate, and that is where you can watch her debuff count from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. The other way you can do it is on the boss frames to the right, which almost all players do have, but the nameplate tracker is what I was using.
That makes sense. That's a huge amount of damage during that window as well.
Yeah, that was
from
great.
66% to about 61.5%. So big damn hit from the Echo Raid. You see the pings coming out from the blue orb. There's the grip. Second grip comes in. All the red guys get dragged in, and now we see a couple of deaths.
That was a betrayal, I believe.
Yeah, Minnie and Frago not on the same side for a moment.
They didn't have that as smooth as they wanted to. They do clearly have a strategy for orchestrating those grips, but it was a little bit tight as they went right by each other as one group ran out and the other group got gripped. We now have 4 dead as we try to get this second cataclysmic entrant to be stopped. We have 4 dispels on the boss. Oh, and just barely with 1 second remaining, land the 5th one, showing how tight that is. You have 10 seconds to get 5 dispels, trying to stagger them by 2 seconds each to minimize the burst healing required. They did get it with 1 second remaining, allowing another big damage burst on this boss. However, with 5 DPS dead, Ryson dying, and Mira's going down to a purgatory caused by the 6th application of the tank debuff. This pull is not long for the world. We are going to see intermission 2, no tank necessary for its duration, but since we are missing a healer, it is going to be difficult to continue for long.
Just dodge the donuts, you know? Manage to avoid everything when you can. Pick up the orbs, make sure those swords don't connect with them to cause that explosion. A dot sitting on Hopeful right now. A couple more orbs over to his right if he wants to soak them. In fact, those are the dead bodies of his teammates. I keep getting debated by that. Look for the swords over them. Dash away from Hope.
Hey guys, welcome to the stream. When you're relentless, okay, we got this. You can achieve anything. Reach your impossible with Novo Legion.
På dina försäkringar försöker tänka på det mesta som kan hända. Så att du kan få bästa möjliga hjälp när oväntade händer.
Dina försäkringar sedan 1768.
Hallå, dörr! Frukosten är serverad!
Äntligen morgon. Äntligen Verum.
But there's the 4th hit. It does in fact execute clicks. Everyone else around. Sorry, I clicked his life, but it executed someone else. Everyone else around half health. Swag ticking down. We're gonna get a 5th stack. They did break the shield successfully. Velo, Zero, and Hopeful, the last remaining people alive, as we are in phase 3 for the first time post dinner break with the solo tank strategy.
How are you?
Things went wrong, including the tank dying.
Yes.
The tank mechanic.
We had a bit of betrayal as well in the middle, and obviously if you're rezzing people, then it's tricky. But with the tank mechanic, it wouldn't even matter if Maris was res. He would just die immediately afterwards. Of course, that piercing strike lasting through death. Stinging Swarm comes down. It's not a B-rated horror movie sort of overlay. Instead, it's because Hopeful is standing outside of the zone of safety. But a huge progress pull there for Echo. First time we've seen P3 effectively for quite a while. Yeah, a couple of hours at least.
Looked pretty happy about that pull, I think.
Scribe looked, satisfied.
Normal.
Satisfied at most.
The best you can really look for from Scribe is not horrifically disparaging about your ineptitude and incompetence. That's what the Raiders are typically going for. Another thing that we can be excited about is that the record producers who were creating the Baked Bean track have put together a couple of samples,
I'm looking forward to it.
and we, as well as chat, can listen and vote on which ones we like the best. So, Baked Beans, bangers, samples ready for us to listen to. Let's bring them up, Mitch.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Testing. Okay, cool. Everyone can hear me. Hoggers. So, Low Wave have been kind enough to send us over the samples that they are planning to use in the Baked Beans track.
Okay.
I've got the initial bean samples from the casters. Listen to that first.
Okay.
You guys can hear what exactly we've got going on, and then you can hear the 2 different versions of the song that they've collected.
Okay.
Okay. So you hear the samples.
People listen.
Yeah.
How about some beans? Bean time.
That's the first one.
Oh, yes!
There's Caro.
Beans on toast!
You know, I think you're overrepresented in these.
That sounds
Yeah, of
disgusting.
course. There's that one.
There we go. Oh, I mean, look at that. See, that's how the song's gonna end.
So then are the vocal samples.
Okay.
Now we have the first version of the song with said samples in them. This is version 1.
That sounds disgusting.
That beat drop. I'm a big fan of that beat drop.
Okay, so that's the first drop. And
Okay.
here is the second one. Let me just rewind a bit.
Okay, this is
Okay, here we go.
Sora.
Yeah, can we just get the drops? I'm trying to work out which drop I prefer.
Okay, so this is the one you just heard. We'll do the other one again. Here's that.
Okay.
And then the second one is this.
That sounds disgusting.
What are your thoughts, Jesse?
I think that one is clearly, almost mathematically and demonstrably superior.
Okay. Are you going for the what one? The second one we listened
I'm not
to?
going to give you a hint. I want to
Or
know
the
if you
first
can
one.
tell which one's clearly better.
Well, mathematically.
Indeed. We should indeed
poll
poll chat.
Yeah, 100% we should.
Before we give our opinions.
I assumed we were polling chat already, I'm going to be honest, Mitch.
Yeah.
I assumed we were asking chat.
All right.
Can we replay just for one final time?
We have to keep them in the same order every time.
The
number
first
1 and number
drop
2.
and then the second drop. Okay, so first drop is going to come up in a second,
Hello.
guys. Before you vote, poll is up. Have a listen. Okay, that's the first one. Second drop, here we go.
That sounds disgusting.
Wait, correct me, what?
Alright. I think it's clear.
I'm
What's
just going to
chat
make
think?
chat is voting right now, I believe. You have to vote in the poll chat.
Yeah, don't type in chat.
Don't
There's a
type in chat.
poll
I don't
above
care if
chat.
you type 1 or 2 in chat. Type 1 if you want to buy medics and beans in chat. Aha! Emote only mode. Immediately enacted. No one's buying me
Our
beans.
mods are not amateurs.
Oh no, there is mod abuse happening. Hidden Clue just spammed 2 in chat. That is some of the most mod abuse I've ever seen.
The mod abuse of all mod abuse.
Yes, I'm a fan of 1. I'm a big fan of 1. I like the it's harsher and it doesn't have this like wham. It doesn't like build into it. It's just the immediate poof. Let's go. Get the beans in your mouth. You know, get them in your goal. That's what I like about it. What about you?
I like 2 better.
Mathematically better or?
I made that part up.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, obviously these are still works in progress, so
Yeah.
I think it is important to remember
They're
this
gonna
is
be
not
doing
what
more
the
development.
finished version will be, but it's a view of the samples and a view of like the drop that we're
Yeah.
hoping to get with low
I
web.
love that they're getting involved with chat and like having us vote on which one we like
Yeah.
better as they direct this song, which is being created with the help of chat, who went out to find all of those samples in clips. If you guys are interested, we have an entire album of songs like that, except not about beans, which were made for this Race World First X-Clam